Hi, third graders. Mr. Askelson here. It is Thursday, May 28th, 2020. Hope this video finds you and your family all well, and let's hope for a little sunshine today. It's been kind of rainy and cloudy and dreary out. We're getting close to what should be summer, and let's hope for some sunshine and get outside and get some fresh air and play. We are on week 9 of distance learning, and we're going to focus today on some rounding. And here it says round to the nearest 10 and 100, and we've been practicing quite a bit of that. We need to round the number 275 to the nearest 10 and 100, 429 to the nearest 10 and 100, and 3,629 to the nearest 10 and 100. So we've used some different strategies, but here's kind of the old standard traditional one. Highlight the digit that may change or the rounding place. Underline digits to the right. Round the highlighted digit. If the underlined digit is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, the highlighted digit is increased by 1. If the underlined digit is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, the highlighted digit stays the same. All the digits to the right of the highlighted digit are changed to zeros. So if we were going to round 2,364 to the nearest 10, I would highlight my rounding place, which is the 6. I would underline right next to it the 4. And the 4, according to this right up here, tells the highlighted digit to stay the same. So I keep the 6. I keep the numbers to the left of the rounding place, and everything else changes to 0. So 2,364 rounds to 2,360. The same number rounded to the hundreds, I change the rounding place. The 3 is in the hundreds place. I underline the 6. And according to my rules, I look at that underlined digit. It is 6, so it falls into the increase the highlighted digit by 1. So I change the 3 to a 4. To the left stays the same, to the right changes to zeros. So 2,364 rounds to 2,400. Now, that's a real simple, easy way to go about rounding, and it's kind of foolproof. If you follow the steps, it works every time. But sometimes you just get to one where you can't think through it for whatever reason. And so sometimes it's nice to use some of those other tools. And we've talked about using a number line before. But the hard part for me about using a number line is what number should I put on the number line? And so sometimes it's kind of nice to work with just the number line and think about building the number line so that you can use it for rounding, you can use it for addition, subtraction, all these different things. So on this one it says on the number line, where would the number 560 fall? So you think 560. I'm not asking you to round this one. Just where would you place that number on a number line? And so when you look at 560, I know that this number is larger than 500, but it's less than 600. So my starting and my stopping number on this number line are 500 and 600. And so now I just have to know, well, where would 560 fall? So I can kind of figure out by starting here, I'm not counting by ones. It's not 501, 502, 503. I wouldn't have enough little tick marks to get to 600. I know I'm not counting by hundreds, because if I started counting by hundreds, 500, 600, 700, I'm already past where my endpoint is. So I know that I have to count by 10. So this would be 500, 510, 520, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 600. So I'm counting by tens in here. So if I want to know where 560 falls, I could just go 500, 510, 520, 530, 540, 550, 560, and I would know that 560 would go right there at that tick mark. So just knowing how to divide a number line up into pieces so that you can use it, it's a pretty important part of using a number line. Now on this one, it says what number on the number line below, what two tens would 47 fall between? So I look at my number. My number is I have a 10, 4 tens, and 7 ones. So I know that my number, it's larger than 40, but smaller than 50. So if I put a 4 right there and a 5 right there, now if I wanted to know where 47 fit in between these two numbers, well, would I count by tens? 40, 50, 60, no, I wouldn't, because I'd be too higher than my endpoint. So I know I would count by ones. So 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So 47 would fall in right here. So the two tens that would fall between would be 40 and 50. So once again, trying to help build that number line. Now, this one says, when rounding, what numbers to the right of the rounding place tells you to keep the rounding place the same? And we can go back up and we could check with this, but I know that the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the numbers that tell the rounding place to stay the same. You don't round up. Likewise, when rounding, what numbers to the right of the rounding place tell you to round up? So we know from our list up here, right up here, that those digits would be 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 would be the numbers that tell the rounding place to round up. Now, one last question. When rounded 600 something 4, there's a missing numeral in here, rounds to 700. What are all the possible digits that could fill in the blank? So if I know that my n number that round is 700, I'm starting with 6, what would all the digits be that could fit in there that would make this number round up to 7? And once again, we just said, if I have these digits, the rounding place stays the same. If I have these digits, the rounding place goes up 1. So if I want the 6 to raise up to a 7, I would have to use either a 5, a 6, a 7, an 8, or a 9. Any one of those digits could fit in here and change it to 700 when I round it. So just thinking about what numbers I'm going to use to round, thinking about what numbers it might fall between when I'm trying to round, are all just great strategies and tips. Now, can you still use this one? Yes. But if you want to check your answer, if you want to build that number line to just help think your way through it, it's perfectly fine and a great tool to use. So you've got some rounding today, a couple numbers in the hundreds, a number in the thousands. So round them to the 10 and the 100. I hope that helps third graders. Get outside, enjoy the day, get some fresh air.